Sean Diddling Kumar has been sentenced to more than 4 years in prison. Considering all the stuff that people were saying about him, I'm quite surprised that that's all he got, but the vast majority of it was like totally made up. But anyway, hip hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs was sentenced to just over 4 years in prison on Friday after being convicted on prostitution related charges involving his two ex girlfriends. Combs' attorney argued for a 14-month sentence, saying their client is reformed after serving 13 months in a New York jail. But prosecutors wanted 11 years, citing his domestic violence history. In addition to prosecutors detailing Combs' abuse, the court heard from several of Combs' children, some openly sobbing, defense attorneys who called him inspiring, and finally, an apologetic Combs himself. In the end, Judge Aaron Subramanian said a significant sentence was required as a deterrent and to send a message. Now, see that? I hate that. Right, I don't care who it is. If someone has been convicted of something, you give them a sentence proportionate to what it was they actually did. Right. If you want to send a message, send a tweet, mate. Don't use someone else's life for it. Although I realise that not many people are going to cry over it being done to Puff Daddy Diddler, or whatever the hell his name is these days. But still, like, don't do that. Don't do that. It's scummy. Especially when you get some guy that, like, posted a tweet and the judge is like, you should get probation, but I want to send a message, so I'm going to sentence you to 3 years in prison. Don't use someone's life as your tool. I think it's just the ultimate show of power, but then again, judges are authoritarians, they work for the state. Before the judge delivered the 50-month sentence, Combs addressed the court, his first public words since the trial began. Combs apologised to his victims, specifically naming his two ex-girlfriends, Cassandra Ventura and Jane, who testified under a pseudonym. My actions were disgusting, shameful and sick, he said. I got lost in excess, I got lost in my ego. He went on to apologise to his mother and his children. I'm so sorry, they deserved better, he said, referring to his 7 children, most of whom were in the courtroom. Then he begged the judge for a second chance, saying he would never jeopardise time with his family again. I ask Your Honour for mercy, I beg Your Honour for mercy, Combs said. I don't have nobody to blame but myself. I know that I've learned my lesson. In the nearly 2-month federal trial in New York City, prosecutors accused Combs of using his celebrity status and sprawling business empire to run a criminal enterprise and sex traffic his former girlfriends. Prosecutors argued Combs sex trafficked women through freak-offs or encounters in which he would pay male escorts to have sex with his girlfriends while he watched and filmed. The government argued Combs coerced the women into unwanted sexual encounters with drugs and physical violence. Combs, 55, was found not guilty in July of the most serious charges against him, racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking of his two ex-girlfriends, Miss Ventura and Jane. He was convicted on 2 charges of transportation to engage in prostitution. For most of Friday morning, Combs maintained a non-reactive demeanour, sitting back in his seat and listening quietly as prosecutors accused him of ruining his victims' lives. Prosecutor Christy Slavic argued that the harsher sentence was more appropriate for the severity of his actions. A lighter sentence would let the defendant get away with years of domestic violence and abuse, she said. Today is about accountability and justice, she said. Citing victim statements and testimony from Miss Ventura and Jane Doe that detailed domestic violence and their relationships with Combs, she reminded the judge of photos the court saw of the 2 women's injuries that they say Combs inflicted. He didn't need the money, his currency was control, the prosecutor says. This is a defendant who will pose a danger at any age. However, the defence argued that Combs is not a pimp and that the prostitution charges on which he was convicted did not apply. All pimps share one aggravating factor, said attorney Jason Driscoll. They make money. I guess he wasn't making money. It's a bad pimp. The conviction was based on the Mann Act passed in 1910, which criminalised transporting women and girls for the purpose of prostitution or debauchery, or for any other immoral purpose. You could argue that about dates then, couldn't you? Like, if you're taking a girl out just so that you can pump them, that's immoral. So you getting her an Uber to the restaurant or the bar, immoral behaviour, and you should go to jail. I do like the old school laws. They're very, very open and loose with what they say. The defence painted Combs as reformed, describing his positive contributions at the jail in Brooklyn, New York, where he is being held, and citing untreated trauma and a ferocious drug addiction as factors in his behaviour. Mr. Combs personally inspired me, defence attorney Nicole Westmoreland told the court. Choking back tears. Wow. Bold move, bold strategy, Carton. Let's see how this one plays out. What the hell? Got a big rapist pimp man behind her. Inspiring. Fucking white women. She talked about Combs starting his own record label and clothing line, which she said also inspired other black entrepreneurs and musicians. I know that he sexually assaulted a bunch of people and drugged them up so that a bunch of men could have sex with him. But think of all the mixtapes that's happened because of this guy. When you think about it, I mean, this one is a banger. I got drugs and bitches and money and gold and my bitches are gold. Like, yeah, I love rap these days. It's great. Modern music's fucking terrible. After spending 13 months in jail, Combs was remorseful, said Miss Westmoreland. Notice how it's Miss. Your Honour, he gets it, simply put. Your fucking hair in my mouth. Combs' children, some sobbing, also vouched for his transformation in prison, and possibly the most emotional part of the day. One called him a changed man, and another asked for a second chance for his father. Combs looked on, appearing to hold back tears and occasionally burying his face in his hands. In front of you and in front of us is a changed man. He has evolved, something we haven't seen in 15 years, said Combs' son, Quincy Brown. Delilah Combs, 18, pleaded, "We can't watch our baby sister grow up fatherless the same way we grew up motherless. Please give our family the chance to heal." Afterwards, Judge Subramanian thanked them, saying they would help him in his decision. Combs will get credit towards his 50-month term for the roughly 13 months he has served in jail before and during the trial. He also will be required to pay a $500,000 fine, which to him is like nothing. He's got that lined in the back of his couch. After the hearing, Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said that the legal team is planning to appeal the decision. In his sentence, the judge said Combs' actions were more than being a customer of prostitution, like the defence had claimed, and that he was not convinced Combs would not reoffend if released. The defence played a 15-minute video highlighting Combs' achievements, and Judge Subramanian acknowledged that he considered his involvement with charities and helping the black community and his deep family ties. But he rejected the defence's portrayal of his relationships with Miss Ventura and Jane as intimate and consensual. "You abused them physically, emotionally, and psychologically," he said. "Both women had trauma that will last a lifetime," the judge said. "You had the money and the power to keep it going," he said. "This was subjugation. This is the reality of what happened." So basically, for fuck's sake, in relation to the actual P. Diddy stuff, there was so much utter bullshit getting spread around it. Like, they were basically saying that pretty much every single famous rapper was in a room gang raping Justin Bieber, who they smuggled into the house through, like, secret tunnels in the property that were made out of shipping containers and all this stuff. There was so much mental stuff that was just getting completely made up about this entire story. But it turns out he was just really abusive to a couple of exes, who you should totally believe, because believe all women, because women totally never lie about being abused all the time. Do you know that 100% of women have dated a narcissist? 100% of women have dated a narcissist, even though narcissistic men make up like 1.4% of the population or something like that. God damn, what are the chances? Those narcissistic men must be really hot. But anyway, basically, in regards to this, so much crap just get made up. There was, like, what was the one where apparently they were holding Justin Bieber down on the bed and gang raping him while he was screaming and crying and stuff like that? And it's like, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Like, just upon reading that, I was like, that never happened. That did not fucking happen. But everyone was posting it and tweeting it everywhere, like, oh, it's real. He's got, like, secret underground tunnels that led into his, like, mansion, and they were smuggling kids. Like, no. Look, he's Puff Daddy. He's not a Clinton. Right, but still, I'm glad, if it is true, like, I'm glad he has been sent away, because a lot of the stuff that came out about him was kind of fucked up. Like, also, he's gay. I think Puff Daddy should just, I think he should just admit that he's gay.